Now, on a regular basis, these girls, they say, can make anywhere from 2,000 to 10 bands in a night. A night. My Lord, today. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be eating some snow crab. I have a lobster tail as well as some extra king crab I had left over from my last video. Today we are going to be talking about a true crime. So, alright. So, the true crime story that I'm talking about today is about a young lady. She grew up in Utah, which is a big state for Mormons. And so her family was really strict on her when she was younger. What the things that she could do. And she didn't like that. She was rebellious because she said she just wasn't happy. After going through so many different situations with her family, they decided, hey, you don't want to live by our rules, go ahead and go. See you later. So she moves out at 16. Now at 16 years old, starting off by yourself, I don't know how she did it. That's hard. But she did. And she ended up meeting a guy who was older than her. And they was together for a while. And then they got married. Now she says after they got married, literally the night of their wedding, he started abusing her. So she calls her mom because this is continuing to happen, okay? Mom, can you please come get me? Can you please come get me? Mom's like, no. You're married. Y'all need to work it out. Marriages go through things. You's not finna call me and tell me somebody hitting on you. And I'm your mama. And I'm not about to come down now. But hey, to each his own. So, one day she was just like, you know what? I can't take it anymore. She goes to a women's shelter to hide from her husband. Now, while she's in the shelter, she's like, I gotta come up with some kind of way to make money. Like, I can't just be, you know, living like this. Like, this is too much. So she was watching TV one day and something came across about an escort service. The women on the commercial was just saying like, I'm making so much money, I'm making more than doctors, etc., etc. So she like, oh shoot, I'm trying to get in, you know, on that kind of money. So she went in the phone book and she found a number for an escort service. Now, she's never done anything like this before. So when she got there, the people who were hiring, the company, were like, okay, well, take off your clothes. And she's like, okay. She does it or whatever. And they're like, okay, well, we have a job for you right now. So they take her to the job, and she said she thought that she would just be escorting someone to an event or spending time with someone. And when she gets there, the guy has like a picnic out. He ready to chill, eat like he knows this, okay? So she goes in and he's like, okay, take off your clothes. She said, I don't feel comfortable doing that. No. So I guess he felt bad for her because he still tipped her. She left. The company fired her. And she kept it moving. So she looks in the phone book for another escort service. So for this one, the guy hires her on as a secretary. So he's just teaching her the ins and outs of how to run the business, how to speak to clients, determine how much the service will be, etc. Now again, she's still in Utah. 70% of the population there are Mormons. So they don't like that kind of stuff going on. Now, my assumption was that escort services are up to those kind of favors. But she explained it to be where it's just like the companionship. Anything past that line is considered something else, which is not what she was doing. So the company she was working for now, where she's more on the business side, they make good money. They have a huge clientele. They have a lot of girls working for them. But they would continuously get raided by the police because they don't want them doing that kind of stuff in their community. This is a real business. It's not illegal, right? So the owner, he was just like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. Gives her the book that has all the information for the clients and says if she wants to start doing this on her own, cool. Because I mean, when the police came in there, they was on them. They was on them. I mean, they were talking so much trash, apparently, like, y'all ain't never gonna be nothing, things like that. Okay. Well, she's like, okay, I'm gonna start my own escort service. So she did begin to start doing stuff in Utah, but her ex-husband found her. And when he found her, that was the last time she was going to let him put his hands on her. So she moved to Colorado. Now, she was managing an escort service, so she was in a whole new city, whole new state. She didn't know nobody there. She had to start from the bottom. So she started building her business up, making good money. She said a lot of women were just drawn to her. So they would see the nice stuff that she had and say, hey, you know, that bag is cute. She would get their attention enough to try to convince them to go ahead and just work with her and make some good money. Cool. So she does that, and she slowly builds her business up. Things are booming, okay? She's doing good. So one night she went out to a club and, you know, vibing. People know who she is a little bit in the area through her business. The guys that was at the club, they had their eye on each other, okay? She said he was in there flossing. He had connections. He knew people. And he knew that she got to the money too. So they just hit it off. So these two become like a power couple, okay? They making money. She's handling like the actual, in the nitty gritty part of the business, and he handling like the financial side. And they have an accountant, of course, but yeah. They in Colorado. The Olympics is coming up. Anytime you have big events and stuff like that, you're gonna have people from all over coming in. So she's like, we have to make sure we cash in on this. So they've called people from Utah, like people who used to work for her there. They're like, you know, come down. I can help you make some money. Now, on a regular basis, these girls, They said can make anywhere from 2,000 to 10 bands in a night. A night? My Lord, today. So, they got the girls, you know, some extra girls to come down there just to make sure they was able to provide these services to, you know, the clientele that they would have, because they knew it was about to go up. In the midst of all this, she does, you know, have a child right before the Olympics comes. Just want to throw that in there. So that was her and his both their first child. So Olympics comes, baby, look at that. Olympics comes, they are taking off. Do you hear me? Like putting everybody out of business. Like they were shutting it down, and they did so good that people knew them across coasts. Okay, so they got a brand new house, paid in full. And I mean like a mansion type house. And then just like a, you know, they got a nice house, paid in full. Both of them had luxury cars, paid off. And they was living a life, okay? They were. So, they wanted to keep their privacy because a lot of people knew who they were. So they made sure that they put up a fence around their new home. Now, their fence kept getting tagged. Okay, so they were already irritated about that. And then the girl, the owner, she gets a call from one of the employees at the office. Now, most of their transactions are in cash, okay? So they'll put a card on file from the client, but the client will pay in cash, and they'll, the girl will bring the money back to the company. Okay. So one of the girls calls the owner and is like, hey, some guys outside. It's looking real sketchy and I'm not feeling it. So the owner turns on the camera. The guys come in. He said, oh, we just want to book for a bachelor party. And she's like, all right, they good. She turns it off and goes back to what she was doing. By the time she comes back, the girl is on the floor in the corner crying. Okay. Police on the way. They robbed the place. The good thing is they only had like $1,000 in there, so she was like, she know it was an inside job. You know, they were threatening her. They knew her daughter's name. Like, it was too much. Anyway, so one day her and her man are driving around. They almost home. The park across the street looks tagged as well. Why she gonna say, I bet them over there, you know, guys playing basketball, I bet they, one of them tagged the house, tagged the fence. Her husband get out the car. So he go over there and he gonna say, which one of y'all over here tagging my fence? Yada, yada, yada. They get into a big argument with these dudes. Boom, boom, gunshots go off. Okay? So they go home. Boom, boom, boom. Knock at the door. Police. Oh, your husband, he has a gun. We need to come search the house. She realized that's the same cop from Utah. Now, how he gets all the way up there, no idea. But they both look surprised, like they didn't know the other was there. But she like, nah, you can't come up into my house. Do you have a warrant? Okay, that's what I thought. So, cop goes and sits in the car, waits out there all night, y'all. Crazy, okay? Her boyfriend is leaving the next day for work. Barely make it out his driveway. Here go the cop. Whoop, whoop. I need to search your vehicle. The only thing that they found in the back was some paperwork from the business. He takes it. They like, okay, well, whatever. We ain't doing that wrong, so. Out of nowhere, 3 years, I want to say 2 or 3 years had passed. IRS, boom, 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 at the door. Like, everybody at their door. Like, you always want to come to my door. So, everybody at their door, or whatever. And they must don't hear. They sound asleep. They got a warrant now. So they just come into the house, raid the house, take stuff. They found guns and marijuana. So they took them to jail. They had like a $50,000 bond each. They paid it. Boom, whoop the whoop, back out. More years passed, y'all. Her man get a call. It's time. We gotta go to court. So they go to court and everything, and what they're trying to say is basically they had no history, no 1099, nothing to show that these girls were taking these cash payments to themselves. So it looks like all of the cash money, and I want to say they only were able to say like 1.2 million of it was not accounted for in their taxes. So tax evasion, I think it's called. She ended up having to go down for 3 years. He went to prison as well, thinking that it would keep her from having to go if he took the rap for everything, but it didn't. So for those 3 years, she ended up having to get her family to keep her kids, because by that time they had 2 children. And yeah, so they couldn't get them on what they were actually doing because it was legal. So they had to find some other kind of way to take them down. And I just feel like, one, you gotta have all your ducks in a row. You gotta have all your ducks in a row. And anytime, and I know that she trusted, like, you know, her man to make sure that was done, but I feel like it was her business to begin with. And when you're dealing with that amount of money, you gotta be careful, you gotta play it safe. So I feel bad that happened, but oh, that sucks. But when she got out, she didn't go back to that business. She ended up starting another business. That's not as high profile as an escort service sometimes is, because you gotta sell yourself to make people want to, you know, do business with your company. And everybody doesn't like that, because you don't want your husbands, your boyfriends, your children out here doing, you know, going with these women doing you don't know what, you know. So, but yes, thank you for watching. If you have not already, please subscribe to my channel. Please leave comments if you have questions about anything. I want to do another Q&A video, or anything else y'all want me to talk about. Thanks for watching. Bye.